Welcome back to the Electrify podcast, brought to you by the creators of Electrify Expo, North America's largest EV festival, coming to a major city near you. I'm Jarod, Electrify News. With us is the lead of Shift Robotics. I saw these things, these Moonwalker shoes. It's all about mobility and miles per
100%.
hour while you're walking. Super cool.
Exactly.
So I saw T-Pain get his, and that's the first time I've ever seen these. Went to the Instagram looking at this. It's super, super cool. So if you can, introduce yourself and say your name.
Yeah. So, hey, everybody. My name is Xunjie Zhang. I'm the founder and CEO of Shift Robotics.
Xunjie Zhang. All right. Yeah. Well, like I said, I apologize. I don't want to butcher your name, and I announce names for a living. And but it's great to meet you. But your product speaks for itself, because how did this idea come to be, and why? You know, why? What? Where? Because success happens, right? When you have a void and you have an idea and it's a solution, right?
Yeah.
What is the solution of Shift Robotics Moonwalker shoes?
Yeah. So I have always been interested in robotics and mobility, especially in micromobility. I have always been interested in, we have bikes, we have cars, they've been around, feels like forever. What else? Right? Obviously, there are demand. There's people today. You see, there's still tons of people walk. Right. Mm-hmm. So I have always been wondering, there got to be some need that has not been met. So over the years, I've been interested in electrical skateboard, electrical scooters, and obviously they are kind of all over the street nowadays. But the fact that still we see a lot of people walking actually always made me wonder, until I have this personal experience. So I used to live in a place where I'm about 30-minute walk from my office. Okay. And every day, I started moving to this new place and start walking first. Walking is way too slow. 30 minutes just makes me totally sweat. So I start looking at, okay, maybe we'll try to drive, or maybe we'll take Uber, take public transit. Obviously taking a cab is way too expensive to be, to do that daily. And driving, it's slow because you're stuck all the time. So start looking at micromobility, looking at the scooter. So I first bought a scooter. For the first months, it was great. I was riding top speed, 11-13 miles per hour. It's cool, until I was riding on the street and I almost get hit over by a car, which I didn't see. And that I kind of fell over from the scooter, and I kind of sat on the street for a minute. I was kind of shocked because it's kind of traumatic moment, right? I'm sure like everybody that experience life and death experience. So I stopped thinking about this, right? Like scooter is really convenient, but I had to ride it on street because I'm not welcome to ride it on the sidewalk. Mm-hmm. But 30-minute walk is way too long. Walking it's safe, it's healthy. I love walking everywhere, but it's just really too slow. What if we can get walking faster, right? On the sidewalk. I think the key is that, pedestrians that have that natural safety barrier from the rest of the transportation, because you're on like sidewalk is your natural protection zone. That's what I see. So, what if we just help you to, improve your walking speed with the same kind of walking effort, but not too fast or too hard to control that, you pose a threat or danger to the rest of pedestrian. So
or yourself, right? Because we've seen the quote unquote hoverboards. We've seen Mike Tyson slam. So exactly. we know how dangerous they can be, right?
100%.
So and again, your safety, other safety,
and
right?
Other safety. Yeah, I mean it has to be win-win. Otherwise, it's not going to work out, right? So, so I start looking at maybe all we need is just to get people to a jogging running speed, because people jog on the sidewalk all the time, yet nobody complain about it go too fast or running over people. So we don't actually need to be that fast, but imagine if I can cut down a 30-minute walk to 10-15 minutes. That's huge. Mm-hmm. Then I don't really need to get into a hustle of finding a parking spot. I don't need to get in hustle of like risking my life, riding a bike or a scooter on the street, sharing, the road with something that's traveling, that's way heavier than me and traveling, 5-10 times faster than me, which is called a car, next to me. So that was really kind of an idea.
You're gonna lose to a car every time.
Yeah, yeah.
And like you said, and I love this motto here. I'm just looking at your Instagram, and you do such a good job of diversity of storytelling, making it look attractive. Shift Robotics is the Instagram. You have almost nearly 200,000 followers.
Yeah.
I love this. The guy in a Flash costume saying walking 250% faster.
Yeah.
That speaks to me because here we are in numbers. You talk horsepower. Electrify Expos about vehicles, but 4-wheel, 2-wheel wheels, but on your feet. Exactly. So I think this is such a cool pivot of still being not lazy. We watched the movie WALL-E, right? And the by and large and the obese people sitting and drinking. This still adds an aspect of mobility, but also health, right? So you're not just riding 100%. A scooter. Yeah. People are now riding, and again, not knocking them. Everything has its application.
Yeah.
You're still talking about this micro mobility
100%.
And its convenience. Where and I think, correct me if I'm wrong, but outside of America, I think this really suits well. Like in the UK, in very crowded countries that have a lot of people, bikes, they're still large. This is such a good. It was a loaded question. This is such a cool solution, man. Yeah. I like I said, I selfishly was like, okay, I saw T-Pain this last week, and I was like, I forgot to ask him, but I'm going to have T-Pain on this podcast and talk about them as well as just his automotive experience. But how excited are you about this, and what's the direction of the company? You did such a good job explaining. I had to cut you off because I feel like I don't even need to be here. You can wrap out. But how excited are you to get this product on people's feet?
Super, super excited. Our company's ultimate mission is to make a world a more walkable space, whether it's in the US, in Europe, or in Asia, anywhere. With our goal is to, because exactly as you said, we are not replacing walkings. We are not saying, oh, today, you just can be standing there and cut your commute time by half or by third or whichever. You're still exercising. You still. Actually, what we found from our existing customers, that they actually walk more because they now enjoy walking.
They make walking fun. Walking is fun.
Exactly. So you say the exactly same thing. I'm very surprised. They said, everybody said, you guys are making walking awesome and fun.
That's so funny.
You said like some of our Instagram. Like a lot of them are actually, from user generate content from our customers, and they've been using them for walking the dog and pushing the baby stroller and being, walking on the, broad walk next to the beaches. And they actually people, they in addition to, day-to-day commuting, so going to a subway station, right? But they also use it for exercises as well. Yep. And because walking is us. That's part of who we are, and we hope we just make it a little bit fun today. Yeah,
I'm just looking at all these videos and photos, and like I say, you do such a good job. Let's talk about the actual components of these Moonwalker shoes.
Yeah,
Shift Robotics. I'm looking at going over a little bit of cobblestone. So are they, going on a boardwalk in New York, right?
Yeah.
So you're in Newark, walking around DC. What a great So a couple things. How much does each shoe weigh, and what is the weight capacity that they can take?
Yeah. So each shoe weighs about 5.2 pounds.
Okay.
I know it sounds a little bit heavy when you kind of try to handle them, but what we have found is once they are on feet, once you start using them for like 20-30 minutes, the weight kind of go away. Because they really give you kind of moving walkway experience. Like they help you go faster. So, with your perception, yes, they feel you have a weight on your feet, but you're also going twice as fast or twice or 3 times as fast. And the maximum weight capacity is 220 pounds. Yeah.
220. So that's max.
220.
Okay.
220. Yeah.
I
Now
can't. I can't wear them, man. I'm too big. I'm too darn big. Gosh, I was really
well,
looking for. We need to
so
make an XL. We need to make an XL one for the big boys.
yeah. So the way we're looking at this, the most important thing for us is safety.
Yeah.
So technically, we can have 200, 230, 240, person individuals are using them on a flatter ground. We because ultimately we actually build them. We really build them. We test them to up to like 300 pounds, really,
Right.
because that's where we want. We want to get enough safety margin so that from where we claim that where we want to be to where we can actually do this enough headroom that we feel very comfortable with.
Well, it's just like an automotive manufacturer. You
Yeah,
test it in all the conditions, right? From
yeah,
really bad rain to really
yeah,
bad heat, and you gotta strength test them because
100%.
you get somebody out there and they
Yeah,
improperly use it. The
yeah,
shoe breaks.
yeah.
I mean, they're not cheap. I'm not going to lie,
Mhm.
but you do
Mhm.
offer a pay program, which I think is really cool, and that
Yeah,
126 bucks a month, which
yeah,
I think again, this is a tool
yeah,
in your quiver, right? This is
100%.
something in your bag
Yeah,
that if it fits, just I love this podcast because it really expands on different way of thinking,
yeah,
and you're thinking such a really it's really simple, but it's
yeah,
not. It's really complex. And you've always, as you said, prior to us hitting the record button, you've
yeah,
always been into robotics.
yeah,
Are there any other kind of products or adaptations, or are you just kind of dedicating the Moonwalker Shift Robotics shoe?
yeah. So, so as I said, our mission is to make a world a more walkable place. Now,
Mm.
doesn't Moonwalker is the first product? It's the first
Ooh.
product line. We have something exciting, in the back of our pocket, which I can't say too much.
Oh man, I thought we were gonna break something cool.
Yeah.
All right.
but
Well,
but yet we are always thinking. So Moonwalker is the foundation.
yeah.
The ability, a pair of shoes that robotic shoes that allow you walk, at kind of running speed. That's our foundation, and we're gonna build around it to form kind of ecosystem for it. But we are looking at multiple dimensions, not just the robotic shoes on its own.
Yeah.
But we know there's a lots of area, there's a lots of exciting places that we can on the product, that features we can add on, places we can improve. So we're super excited. Yeah.
Well, ironically, coincidentally, the moon. Now we're going for Mars, the Mars Walker, right? So
Yeah.
we got the Moon Walker. Now we're going to Mars. Take it even further, and that's I can feel your energy. If you're watching the video, there's a whiteboard back there. Again, before we hit the record button, you had a bunch of drawings back there. Said, do you want to erase those? Maybe you're giving away some info that you shouldn't. And I feel like I looked inside of your brain there for a moment. But like I
Yeah.
said, price point, how much they weigh, mobility. What are the specs on what you can do? So if somebody buys a pair of Moonwalkers,
Yeah.
I assume like every kind of, if it's a phone or
Yeah.
electric device, they're mildly
Yeah.
charged.
Yeah.
You plug them in. How long do you have to wait for a full charge, and how
Yeah.
long will they last?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
how fast? Is it just one speed? Do you set
Yeah.
them, or walk us through the Moonwalker buying experience?
100%. 100%. Just give me one moment, if that's okay. Yeah.
Yeah, please.
Okay. Thank you. All right. Sorry about that.
Oh, no problem, dude. No problem. No
Okay,
problem at all.
awesome, awesome. So, yeah, obviously, once you receive a box of Moonwalkers, um, first time you open up the box, you the kind of unboxing experience, like you have, a, we bring you kind of free Moonwalker carry bag of complete washable, waterproof that allow
Oh,
you
cool.
exactly the size, a sling bag that you can carry around your Moonwalker and other stuff in.
You get to your destination, we throw them over your shoulder, and then in your bag.
100%.
Cool.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. The reason is that obviously it's like your shoes, you wear that all the time. But at some in your office, you probably want to take them off. Um, then you want to make sure it doesn't make the floor dirty or carpet at least. So that's kind of just a bag we think will be really nice
Hmm.
for people to have carrying around when they get indoors. And then once you take out that bag, then the Moonwalker will appear. Moonwalker along with the charger will be present to you. Now, when you first try them out, there will be battery left. However, we still recommend user to charge the Moonwalker to full capacity. Uh, Really, probably half an hour is sufficient because
Oh, great.
they come with charge anyway. So we just want to make sure, like the first time you try them out, you have a full experience rather than you try it halfway through. Oh, it's low battery. I have
Yeah.
to charge it.
Yeah.
So that's kind of thing. So once you get them fully charged, then you put your. It's real simple. You turn on the power. So once the Moonwalker actually turns on, they will actually find their soulmate. So it's a security feature, that safety
Oh, it's
security
the shoe to the
feature.
shoe to the shoe. The shoes talk to
Yeah,
each
the
other.
shoe to
Copy.
shoe talk to each other, but we made that such a way that each shoe only talk the other.
Mm.
So there's no way the other devices hacking into your shoes, then like all of a sudden start driving your shoes midway through. That's happened with a lot of kind of Bluetooth control,
Yeah,
right?
other
Like
devices you can kind of hack
devices,
into
right?
somebody else's. Yeah, drop AirPlay photos or something. Yeah.
Yeah,
So,
yeah. So we
all right.
took
So
a
the shoes
lesson
talk to
learned
each
there.
other. The shoes
Yeah,
talk
so
to each other, sinking in. You're fully charged. What's
yeah,
runtime on these things?
so they run us about roughly in this time of the year, they run about close to an hour, 15 minutes to an hour.
That's a
So
sufficient amount of time.
exactly. So you strap them on, make sure the feet is right, the ball of your feet is right on the hinge area, and then you start walking. Initially, we recommend you to walk in the lock mode. So all the wheels are fully locked. They're not
Okay.
moving anywhere. So for you, it will just feel you're walking in a heavy boots. That get used to the extra height and extra weight. Once you get used to it, then you feel like you have enough muscle memory kind of adapt to the extra height and weight. Then you can do a simple kind of gesture. If you can see simple gesture, kind of turn inwards, then you are in shift mode. And it's super awesome. Once you start walking for about a step or two, the speed kicking in. So the faster,
Almost like you're if for anybody's ridden a bicycle, like a click-in shoe, right? Like
yeah,
putting a cleat into like a Shimano or a Look pedal, or if you ride a Peloton, click click,
100%.
right? So you do that little shift pivot of
Yeah.
your ankle.
Yeah. And this is where you can use for various places where you want to go on stairs, right? Like you don't want the obviously accidental activation of shift mode, so you kind of lock the Moonwalker, by lifting up the hill, you go up the stairs, and then unlock them and get into the shift mode again. So that's another kind of features we are looking at.
Yeah.
We have for you as well. So once you're in shift mode, you just step. Right. The the higher cadence you walk, the faster you walk, the faster Moonwalker goes.
Oh,
The
okay.
slower walk, the slower they goes. So it's really intuitive because naturally they look at uh, the step you're making, how big the
Yeah.
step you're making, how fast you're walking, how hard you're pushing off the ground. And we combine all this information, kind of fuse them really together to really understand your intention of acceleration or deceleration.
It's almost got like a gyro motor in there. Not that it literally has a gyro or a totem, right?
Yeah.
But it has that sensor of cadence. And is that
Yeah.
let's break down into some,
Yeah.
science here. And obviously you're in robotics, which I love. Are the shoes talking to each other that moment, or is it kind of like a
100%.
okay?
100%. So two shoes, Moonwalkers talk to each other all the time, 1,000 times a second. Right.
Wow.
Unlike some other device, you might see, you know, each device working on the individual. We never found this was working. If we want to truly mimic, and figure out human intentions in real time, right? Then we have to have two shoes talk to each other really, really fast and understand exactly where you are in the space, in the kind of spatial vectors and your force vectors as well. So
Sorry to cut you. So I'm looking at the underneath. I'm looking at the unboxing here.
yeah,
Seeing all the wheels on each shoe.
Yeah.
is it always active? Because I mean, there's a considerable amount of wheels underneath there.
Yeah.
Is it like a WRX where it shifts power, the transmission, it shifts power to a particular wheel, or are they all kind of all wheel drive?
It's all-wheel drive. So at this version, everything's all connected. Because what we realize is um, it will take to like because we have this, because you're lifting up the shoe, right, and then striking them down here, landing your feet on the ground. So
Mm,
that instantaneous moment, uh, throughout the gearbox, the easiest way is to connect them all through the powers.
right.
We with the limitation was what we see the limitation of electronics and mechanics to get mechanical together. We think it's too risky to kind of shifting powers, and it's far better that we constantly deliver the power, and then we just let the motor drive to control whenever it has a huge disturbance comes in. Yeah.
Got it. Yeah, and have before I forget, have you activated these in a rental space? I'm just seeing, when I
Mm.
just know like going to DC, Washington DC with my family years ago, we rented bikes. And now you're seeing Lime scooters, obviously, or fill in the blank with whatever scooter company.
Yeah.
I don't foresee Shift like finding a pair of Shift on the corner and picking them up and going. I don't see that. Let's leave that. What
Yeah,
I'm
they're probably
saying is,
going to be very, very quickly if you kind
yeah,
of
they're
throw them at the corner.
I mean, we've already seen birds end up in the ocean. We're not
Yeah.
doing that. We're not contributing to wastefulness. But
Mm.
I'm seeing them really be used in a cool, like again, going to DC, cruising around, seeing all the different monuments, zoos, different places, and adding to that experience of making walking fun. And it
Yeah.
just sounds so silly, but I like silly, and
Yeah.
we live in this opportunity, and that's what I feel like you're doing. You're looking at the whiteboard behind you, and you're drawing.
Mhm.
There's no bad ideas. There's no bad ideas, man.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I feel like you're tapping into that.
Yeah, 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 yeah. I mean, that yeah, we live in a space where everything is a possibility, right?
Mm,
So yeah, we certainly we certainly talked about rental spaces. Yeah, actually, in fact, we are in discussion with which I can disclose the name, a large kind of convention place
perfect.
right now to potentially apply our technology in their kind of experiential space, basically.
Like Electrify Expo coming to Austin, like
Right.
I'll Electrify Expo next year.
Exactly.
SEMA show, trade shows,
100%.
Las Vegas, Formula One. I know Formula
100%.
One Las Vegas is coming up soon,
Yeah.
so there's no reason why seeing Lewis Hamilton rip around on these things or Max
Yeah.
Verstappen, right? Let's get these guys. Let's get Lando in a pair cruising the paddock. I mean, they race
100%.
cars. Why don't you race walking?
Yeah, exactly. 100%.
I feel like you've hacked walking, man, in just such a cool, fashionable way.
Thank
I'd
you.
love to see some customized. At Electrify Expo, my
Mhm.
man Neil Chin, he has the kind of heat on the feet who has the best kicks at
Mm.
the show. So I think people talk about how expensive. Hey, where'd you get those StockX? What'd you pay?
Yeah.
Did you pay retail or resale? And
Yeah.
I feel like we need to get some customized for Neil Chin out there at Electrify Expo. But because you could have two pairs of shoes. That's how cool they
Yeah.
are.
Yeah.
What else do you kind of want to add to this conversation in regards to Shift Robotics? I'm really trying to create
Yeah.
this experience.
Yeah.
And again, I think you do tell such a interesting picture because I remember I used to work for an off-road skateboard wheel company. And then
Mhm.
like
Mhm.
you talked about electrifying
Yeah.
skateboards and that
Yeah.
experience, going
Mhm.
off-roading and this and the capabilities. And I am seeing one video here where somebody's walking across what looks to be kind of almost like a Santa Monica on the
Mm.
waterfront and going across grass.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
I think that's a huge one right there.
Yeah. 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 100%. 100%. Yeah. We are, Moonwalkers is always w-
Is somebody telling
now
you not to
I
say
look
something?
back.
Somebody said I can't say anything. I feel like
Yeah,
somebody's
I'm
behind the
just trying
camera
to
be
kind
like,
of balance everything. Yeah, it's my like engineers look at me. It was like,
Mhm.
okay.
I'm
Um,
tapping into it though,
yeah.
man, and they don't know what you're saying or what I'm saying, but I think this is a shape of things to come. And
Yeah.
like I said, I think we're hitting some touch points here as far as progression of Shift Robotics. And like I said, you're forging new ground and walking. You're getting there faster, 250% faster, in
Yeah.
fact.
Yeah. 100%, 100%. I mean, for a foreseeable future, we are really, doubling down on reinventing. Well, reinventing walking, it sounds like a little bit more kind of arrogant, but I would say, we making walking fun again, right?
Hmm.
That's where I would be. So, hopefully in a near future, anywhere you walk, anywhere, whether it's you're going on, your trails, you're going on, hikings, you
Hmm.
will see a pair of moonwalker with us, maybe in different form factor. Obviously in the cities you will see, but also in area that large warehouses, logistics space, distribution
Oh,
centers, massive dark grocery stores, and this will be an interesting area that we are looking at the same time. So we don't, today we'll create the Moonwalker version 1. That was designed for using them in the cities, but we're also looking at kind of expanding potentially into, can we make it helpful in certain user case indoors, and can we go more off-road as well? So there's many things will be coming out in the next few years. I think we're super excited to bring them to the world. Yeah.
and again, I just love the journey of past, present, future. When I interview people on whatever podcast, or even just,
Mm-hmm.
I've been announcing car races for 20 years. My background, I announced Formula
Mm-hmm.
Drift, and I'm
Awesome.
just seeing these in, and Nitro Cross, which is all electric, and Baja Score. I'm just seeing so much opportunity there for you. So past, present, future. Where you're at, or sorry, where you were solution wise, right? Like, okay, here's this concept. Where
Mm-hmm.
you're at currently, which the Moonwalker version 1 is
Mm-hmm.
really cool, and
Mm-hmm.
then
Thank you.
progressing into to where you're at and making these available. And I'm sure that, like I said, they're not cheap, but shoot, you go to Costco. I always say it's $100 a person. It's like $150 now. And
Yeah.
you try to go in there for one rotisserie chicken, and then you end up with a pair of pants, a board game that you didn't want. I don't know, just
Yeah.
something random. But the more people that are contributing to Shift Robotics, I feel
Yeah.
it'll bring that price point down.
100%, 100%. Yeah, I
Yeah.
mean, ultimately, the economy of scales will really help. We'll be able to, come up with different versions, right?
Mhm.
We'll have various versions, and hopefully, we can continue to drive the price down for the general public as well. But on the other side, it's also kind of bring the awareness. So, like, for example, 10 years ago or 5, 10 years ago, I lots of people don't think about second monitor as essential, right? Like
Yeah.
before COVID, and let's put it this way, like nobody really think about why do I need a second monitor? Like why do I like but like it's kind of thing like once you have it, you feel like it's part of your life, like you can't
Absolutely.
go away. And our goal right now is to really help people to experience as much as possible, because we have people, once they having them, um, like we have users, we are they the one day they have some issues with Moonwalker and they don't want to send back for repair. They just want us like send them another pair while they send
Right.
that back, because they were like, I can't live without Moonwalker for a week, like that
Really.
cannot happen. So yeah, we definitely start seeing very interesting a trend, a very interesting things are happening with our users once they've been using Moonwalker for a while. Yeah.
Two questions. Where is the most unique place that you've heard somebody utilize them, either international, a cool location, or something cool like that? And then let's just name drop here. Any people of interest, outside of obviously T-Pain is very interesting,
Mhm.
but any people of interest that are rocking them and proud moonwalkers.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, you have seen a brand, the host of from Wired have been, coming and test our Moonwalkers last year. You've
Hmm.
seen Casey Neistat using them on the street of New York. You probably have seen lately, we have multiple influencers on YouTube have been using us, which has gathered a lot of tractions and views recently, using them like racing with a horse, racing with a Division 1 swimmers, and um,
Cool.
just lots of interesting things. Something that's very just one use case I want to kind of bring is recently one of my colleagues traveled to Europe to meet one of our enterprise customer on his way. So he traveled over there. That's where like there was a statue near his hotel, about 2 miles away from his hotel. This is where the Little Mermaid was born.
Oh,
And the hotel staff told him like, oh, it's 2 miles away. So in most of cases, if there's a 2 miles away and you only have a couple hours layover in the city,
yeah,
he told me I would never go for 2 miles if I only have 2 hours layover. But he did on Moonwalkers.
really.
So that's what we really feel Moonwalker, other than day-to-day use, even you can bring them on to travel, because
Mm-hmm.
there's a things unexpected surprise in your life that now with Moonwalker you basically expand your area of exploration now.
Yeah. Yeah, I get it. And with the Moonwalkers and Shift Robotics, a hard case, so you can put them in the overhead. Because
100%.
Jackrabbit, their micromobility, a foldable bike, really cool.
Mm-hmm.
It's really cool, small.
Awesome.
That's FIA friendly.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Or excuse me, FAA, excuse me,
Yeah.
FAA friendly, so it can
Yeah.
be checked as luggage.
Yeah.
But yours just go in the overhead because people have to remove batteries, lithium power, and all that. So,
100%.
again, that interesting. I know that I think in Japan these things gotta crush. In Japan, I just know I had a long layover and I ended up going into Harajuku and getting tattooed for my buddy.
Uh-huh.
And I could see, taking the rail, going in, getting off, doing
Mm-hmm.
that efficiency, man. Time is money, and if you're
100%.
on a vacation, and I'm excited. Like I said, selfishly, I'm too damn heavy for him. I guess I gotta run a little more so I can walk a little faster. So I gotta lose some weight so I can experience. So we need to make that XL size, bro. So let's get that going.
Yeah,
But
having speak of that, yeah, we are actually looking at. I mean, it's a public secret now, so we are
public
working on.
secret. That's a jumbo shrimp. That's a conflict right there. But yeah,
I know,
it's a public secret. I gotta keep that.
There's so many people asking us for, okay, when can you come up with different sizes? So we are working on different sizes.
Cool.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah. What shoe size range? Because obviously they're adjustable. You have
Yeah.
your one. What is the shoe size? Let's say men's US.
Yeah, US men, really the sweet spot is between kind of men size A to size 12.
Okay.
It's kind of one size fit all. The reason it's like that is because it cover like 70-80% of the feet size in the US. So, but obviously, there's a huge untapped feet size that we haven't looked into. So these are the area. Yeah, we have solutions for multiple size variation in sizes, and we're super excited to bring them.
Well, I've
Hopefully soon.
yeah. Is there anything else you want to add, man? I don't want to take up too much of your time, but I think this is a really exploratory into making walking fun. 7%, 257 miles per hour, 250% faster.
Right.
Just all of this. And Shift Robotics is the IG handle. Anything else you kind of want to plug at all?
Yeah. So I have this very interesting kind of conversation with one of our users, and he basically said, we have we have electrical vehicles, we have high-speed trains, we have planes, we have rocket space shuttles that super fast, super long distance. But when you look down, look down your feet, we have bicycles and scooters, but nothing really helps you walking. And so for the first time, we're super excited, and now we are looking at changing something that has remained the same for thousands of years. So we're excited.
The future is now. Shift Robotics. Thank 100%. You so much.
Thank you
so much. And pronounce your name for me again. I'm going to butcher it.
Xunjie.
Xunjie. Thank you so much for all. I mean, very difficult name for me to pronounce. I want to give you the respect where respect is due, but the respect that you've forged new ground. And like I said, they're called Moonwalkers. I asked the question out of the gate, what's the solution here? And I think that you're onto some really cool things. I'm really excited. I want to hear T-Pain when we get him on the podcast about his Moonwalkers. And
Awesome.
congratulations, man. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for your time.
Thank you very much. Really appreciate it.
All right. So we'll see you at Electrify Expo. Not this Austin, but maybe next year we'll get you out to some
year.
and really excited to get these people what they want.
100%.
Make walking
fun again. Yeah. That's awesome.
Again, it's always been fun. It's just slower. Now we're going 10 miles per hour walking.
Faster and fun. Yeah.
I'm not going to call myself a simple man. I've seen a lot of things, but I was wildly intrigued about this, and just again, I'm 265. I'm size 13, so I'm going to call you. I'm going to call you, and I'll make payments on them, whatever we got to do. I want to walk airports, man. I'm just telling you, I'm so. I'm
no,
really
we do have
excited
lots of customers using them. We have frequent flyers, people using them.
That's me.
All sorts of airports.
Dude, Detroit, DFW. Oh, bro. I mean,
that's brutal. Airport walking is brutal.
London Heathrow. Heathrow's absolutely violent. Detroit is the worst. But anyways, we're on a tangent here. But the solution is the Moonwalker 100%. Shoes, courtesy of Shift Robotics. Thank you so much for joining me.
Thank you. Appreciate it for having me.
Right.
Yeah.
Thanks for listening to the Electrify podcast, brought to you by the creators of Electrify Expo. Be sure to catch full video episodes on YouTube at Electrify TV and follow along on social media for daily clips and more.